Welcome back, guys, to CFL Central, CFL content for the fans, by the fans, and we have our preview here of the Eastern Division Final between the visiting Montreal Alouettes and the home Toronto Argonauts. It's getting down to the wire there, Rick.
Since when would you ever see a Ticat fan have this banner up and wearing a Bombers hat? Just like hat? You being a Bomber fan wearing an Alouette hat.
Oh, I'm wearing because it's for this game. Trust me. When we get to the Bomber game, you know which one's going on. No. But this game, I don't have an Argonauts hat, and even if I did, I wouldn't wear it. Not for this vid. So Eastern Final, repeat of last year. I expect it will be a repeat of last year. And so, although I gotta say, so we were talking about this before. I'll need you to get into a little bit into the specifics, but the Alouettes are 0-3 against the Argonauts this year. However, you had a more accurate description of exactly how those games went.
So, the first game, let me go back to my dates here.
Yep.
Actually, I take that back. They're 4-0.
Oh.
Because I missed one game. Oh, never mind. That was the that was the day that you guys almost put a 50 banger on Montreal. Never mind. So the first game between the two of them was on September 9th.
Yep.
Toronto won by 29 points.
Yep.
The following week after that, Toronto won by 3.
So just barely.
And then there was a game where they won by like 8.
I see. So 2 games under 10, one only a field goal separating, and one by a significant margin. However, I believe, I could be wrong, that one that was a significant margin, was that the first time they played against each other?
No, that's the second time. The first time was July 14th in
And the
Montreal.
second one, when was that second game?
The second game was September 9th, so the week after Labor Day.
So did they have Sean Lemon yet? Did the Alouettes have Sean Lemon yet?
That would have been the same week that you guys put up the 50 banger against Saskatchewan. So let me check here.
I don't think they had Sean Lemon yet. I think Sean Lemon.
Yes, they did.
They did? Okay.
No, they had Sean Lemon.
Okay. Yeah, I guess
but they didn't have Sankey yet.
Oh, I see. No, just because it's just kind of important to take a look at the rosters for those games in that regard. It's one of those things where Montreal, the thing about Montreal is that I don't know if I've seen a lot of Montreal being truly fantastic. It's that Montreal, for the most part, is being able to not collapse in the way that other teams have. They've had games that haven't gone their way, but they haven't had any really brutally bad games. And so that is at least the good thing for them in the sense of win, lose, or draw. This game is close. And so it's one of those things where for Toronto, this is going to be Chad Kelly's first career playoff start. Obviously, it's not his first time playing in the playoffs. Played in the Grey Cup game. Did not start that game, but he did certainly did finish it as McLeod Bethel Thompson would start that game. So big shoes to fill for Chad Kelly. However, we had our doubts going into the season. He definitely proved us wrong in that regard. And so it's one of those things where it'll be interesting to see how this goes for him. I saw the CFL posted about I think it was about Andrew Harris. Just because,
oh yes,
because it sounds like after this year he's done.
Oh, he's going into coaching.
Yeah, I thought he was going to be done.
I think it's out in BC.
Unless, did the CFL post it or did 3 Down Nation post it? Who posted it?
Give me
because
one.
You know what I'm talking about, right? You saw this.
Yeah.
The CFL posted it.
Because I read it earlier.
Yeah, I asked Andrew Harris today about his future, and if he had thought much about it ahead of Saturday's playoff game. His response, "This is absolutely my last game here in Toronto, and hopefully we can get to the Grey Cup for that to be my last game for good." So Andrew Harris looking to finish it off. I expect that Andrew Harris is not going to have a lot of playing time, to be honest. I expect that A.J. Ouellette, who's really going to be getting the reins there on the running back side of things. And so it's going to be important for the Alouette, I'm just going to finish up here, for the Argonauts to get that running game going. And if you're the Alouettes, being able to get your guys like getting your Tyson Philpott going, getting your Austin Mack going, being able to really figure out this Toronto Argonauts defense, especially their passing defense, and being able to do some damage is going to be key.
Yeah, so anyways, like I was going to say, I was just looking at what the betting people have for this game.
Oh, yeah?
They have Toronto as favorites by 10.5.
And what does that mean, sorry? I'm not all familiar with betting.
So basically, in order for... I'm not sure like how it all works, but they're picking Toronto to at least win by 10.5 points. Or that's what the odds are saying.
Oh, I see.
By 10.5.
So it looks like that's what it is in the betting odds. Now, one thing I will say is that I take betting odds with a very, very big grain of salt. Because and even just any sort of probabilities, because as a Bomber fan, I really think that we are absolutely capable of making it to this Grey Cup, and that we can if we play the way we need to in the West Final. However, I've seen I saw the CFL put a thing that had the Lions with a 2% chance of winning the Grey Cup, and I was like, okay, that's a little much. That's a little exaggerated. They're not that bad. Let's calm it down here. And I don't like that as a fan of the Bombers, though, with the analytics giving the Lions nothing, because it's this is all it's going to do is fuel the Lions. So it's we don't need that. But when it comes to the Alouettes, I almost wonder if they have any of that as well, where, obviously Toronto is heavily favored over the Alouettes in this game. Despite the fact that the Alouettes have actually done pretty solid. It's one of those things where can Cody Fajardo get it done against Chad Kelly, who's really been on his game for the most of the season. One of the things that's going to be really key here as well is, I was talking about getting the receiver game going here for the Alouettes, but one thing that they've had equally big problems with is protecting Cody Fajardo for him to be able to do his best work. Now, I'm not going to go say that Cody Fajardo has got him on men. However, he's been able to be solid when he's been able to get that protection in front of him, and sometimes that's been lacking a bit, so I think that'll be very important for him. William Stanback had a really good game in the Eastern semifinal against the Hamilton Tiger Cats. He's got to continue that. Went 95 yards last game. I think this game he's got to crack 100. Sneed, he's got to keep going. So Sneed, Mack, and Philpott got to be rolling on all cylinders, I think, for this game when it comes to the Alouettes sort of things, side of things. But
to be honest, I don't think that there will be much of a run game for either team this week. No matter, Toronto fans will probably be like, "Oh, AJ will have a run game." I don't think he will.
I think
whoever wins, it will come down to passing touchdowns.
Yeah, no, I
unless
agree
you get
that.
Toronto at the 1 yard line.
Yep, no, I agree with that, because I think the Argonauts defense is sufficient enough to really put the pressure on that offensive line, that hasn't done so great for the Montreal Alouettes. However, on the other side of things, the differences with Sankey and Lemon for the Alouettes on the defensive side of things have really been huge for them. So I think they'll be able to do a pretty solid job at minimalizing the effect of AJ Ouellette, and really they're gonna force Chad Kelly to really kind of demand the plays in terms of being able to throw the ball. So this is, again, goes back to why I think it's so important for the Montreal Alouettes that they get that they get the passing game going. Because if Montreal doesn't get the passing game going, they're screwed. They're not winning this game. So even though, again, I still think that the Argonauts are going to come out of this game with the win. If Montreal wants to have a chance at getting this done, they got to get the passing game going. Got to be able to put points on the board.
So looking at the injury list,
yep,
and Carter's gonna be like, so this is the only person that you can pronounce, but you can't pronounce anyone else. Yeah. Mr. Daniel Adnaboye is out.
No, you can pronounce Cats and Tonus, but you struggle with Oliveira.
We have Maurice Carney IV out.
Yep.
Gittins is out.
Oh, is Gittins out?
Gittins has been out for probably, I want to say, at least, 7-8 weeks?
Yeah, no, I know that, but it was one of those things where going into the later portion of the season, I wasn't sure how much of that is that he's injured and how much of that is that, maybe he's almost healthy, but they don't.
We're saving him for the finals.
Yeah, but I mean, it doesn't sound like it if he's not playing this game.
So Rajay Johnson, he's out. Daniel Kawamu is out.
Yep.
Your former bomber, Maumba, is out. Mwamba. And Robert Priester is out.
I see.
Then you go over to the Montreal side. Yeah, so Julian Grant's out. Zach Lindy is out. Pierre Oliver Lestage.
Yep.
He's an offensive lineman. He's out. Chandler Worthy is out. Sean Jamieson is questionable. And Marquise Valdez is out. But apparently, Reggie White Jr. is fully practiced, and he hasn't played at all this year. Greg Ellingson hasn't practiced at all this week, and he's back.
Oh.
But Walter Fletcher was a healthy scratch.
Jeez, I forgot Greg Ellingson was even on the Alouettes. That's a name I haven't heard in so long. Oh, my goodness.
You know what? I'm actually curious to see.
So you're telling me that Greg Ellingson is healthy?
Well, he's played one game. He's 1 for 3 and 10-yard passing. That's it.
Well, that's the thing. Greg Ellingson, if we're talking about what he's capable of, he is an excellent receiver. But it's one of those things, though, that he hasn't played at all this year. So that's a risky move if you're really gonna try to rely on him in this game. So I think. So
it's going to be.
Yeah, it's
going to be interesting.
They're gonna have to try to be as prepared as possible with the receivers they got. But if shit hits the fan, they need Greg Ellingson ready to go and to hope that maybe he can kick it back into gear. But I have my doubts.
It will be interesting
the whole season.
It will be interesting since we're recording this Thursday night.
Yes.
It'll be interesting tomorrow when the depth charts come out of who's playing who.
Yeah.
Because it's double depth chart day. Because it's going to be the East Final and the West Final both. That's what I like about both games being on the same day.
Yeah, I will be at the West Final. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to.
And I will be at the East Final.
I will not be focused on the East Final at all. I will be all tuned into my Bombers. Your Bombers.
And one thing that I will mention.
Yep.
Apparently, I haven't looked much into this because I haven't done much reading for this. Apparently, after the Argos have averaged about 15,000 fans throughout the season.
After
this game. Throughout the season, on average across the board.
Yikes.
About 15,000 fans. They have sold, so far, 25,000 tickets for this game.
What's the capacity of that building? Because I hate to be that guy. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers are about to sell out their 5th straight game with 33,000 people.
according to Wikipedia, they can fit 30,991.
Okay, so that's like that's okay numbers. Like that's the thing. It's like one of those things where obviously 25,000 is a lot better than where they were in the season. But it's the East Final. Of course it is. It should be. But like I'd argue it should be a sellout, but it's not looking like it.
I mean, there's still 2 more days to buy tickets.
Are they going to sell 5,000 in 2 days though? That's the question.
I mean, if you just got to get your media team out there pushing.
I know, it's just they haven't done that.
Can't see why they wouldn't
for like the past like 3 years.
But I mean, how many fans? But the question is, how many fans are going to drive up from Montreal to Toronto to watch it?
But you shouldn't have to rely on that.
It's funny because
what's the population of the GTA? It's massive. It's like if you can't get like 30,000 out of that area,
there's 6.37 million people in the whole GTA.
My guy, we got like 800,000.
That's actually, so they classify that as Toronto, Canada metro area. So I don't know what they.
That's just the fancy name for the Greater Toronto area. Like,
oh, okay.
It's the same thing. But anyways, no, we're getting a little off topic. We're now talking about ticket sales. But overall, Rick, you got to take your pick. Who you picking for this game? Who do you think is going to win?
Okay, I think Toronto will win.
Yep.
But I'm hoping for Montreal because I want something different than a Winnipeg-Toronto final this year.
I agree. I want a Winnipeg-Montreal final this year. So
Wouldn't it be interesting if it was a Toronto-BC final?
No, it wouldn't. It would suck. It needs to be a Winnipeg-Montreal final. It wouldn't be interesting because you know what's interesting? 4 in a row, baby! 4 Grey Cup appearances.
Hey, at least you wouldn't have to use your thumb.
Not yet.
You could be like the 4 horsemen.
Not yet. Let's wait on that.
Oh.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Isn't that what the NWO did for life? Or I don't know how.
Oh, I can't remember exactly what the. I just remember
for life.
The too sweet. You know what I mean? Like which got him in a lot of trouble, but that's fine. But anyways, yeah, we both got the Argonauts beating the Alouettes. However, we're hoping for the Alouettes for the sake of humanity as well as the sake of my sanity as a Bomber fan. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe if you have not already. And yeah, make sure you guys comment down below. What do you guys think is going to happen in this game? What did you guys think of this video? And we'll see you guys next time.